Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Sunday, March 5th, 2023, and you know what that means. Tonight is AEW Revolution, live on pay-per-view, live from San Francisco, California at the Chase Center. Also, I am your host, Lance Brock, in case anyone didn't know that just yet. And on this episode of GMWF, I'm going to be previewing tonight's Revolution pay-per-view presented by All Elite Wrestling. And let's get right into the card. Tonight, AEW Revolution is live from San Francisco, California at the Chase Center. But before the main card starts, we have 0 Hour, which will be available to watch for free on AEW's YouTube channel. And the featured match looks like we're only going to have one unless they add matches to it before it starts. But our lone match as of right now, we have Mark Briscoe teaming with the Lucha Brothers once again, and they'll be taking on Arya Daivari and the Varsity Athletes. And then to get started on the main card, AEW Revolution, we have the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta taking on the Dark Order, which I stand corrected. I guess this one is actually going to be on 0 Hour as well. My mistake. And now we go on to the main card. We have the final burial taking place. Jungle Boy Jack Perry taking on Christian Cage. Of course, this one has been building for quite a while. It was put on hold, though, for a little bit due to Christian Cage's injury and him being gone for a while. But there's been some speculation with what happened on Rampage this past Friday night that this could be a match similar to Buried Alive. The promo Jungle Boy cut talking about a hole in the ground and burying Christian. So it kind of looks like we could be seeing something very similar to Buried Alive. Not sure just yet. We'll have to just tune in tonight to find out. The Ocho, Chris Jericho, taking on Absolute Ricky Starks, which I'm sure would be a very good match. And the Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside. And I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Post Wrestling, this Friday night, or last Friday night, I should say, on Rewind to SmackDown and Rampage. And they were previewing Revolution, and they were saying how they were being talking more about only the Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside. So they were saying we may see someone who is not in the JAS come out and help Jericho defeat Ricky Starks, and then after the match become a new member of the Jericho Appreciation Society. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there, but I'm sure it'll be a very good match. So as far as a prediction, I think it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if they have Starks go over on Jericho in this one, or they could do that idea or have someone who is not in the JAS come out and cost Starks the match and help Jericho. The AEW World Tag Team Championships are on the line in a 4-way match. The champions, the Guns, defending against the acclaimed Triple J, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I don't know if anybody has used this yet for a team name for them, but I guess you could go ahead and call them Orangehausen. I know it's simple, easy, but I haven't heard anybody else say it yet. As far as a prediction for this one, I could kind of see the Guns retaining in this one. Wouldn't mind seeing the Acclaimed get the titles back. Not really sure, but I guess could kind of see them putting the titles on Jarrett and Lethal as one of the top heel teams in the division. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Big fan of both guys, but I don't really see them getting the titles tonight. But who knows? But if I just had to pick one team, I'd have to probably say the Guns retaining in this one. The AEW Women's World Championship match. Triple threat. Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho in this one. You have Jamie Hayter and Saraya in that feud with the AEW homegrown talent, and then Saraya and Toni Storm. And then you got Ruby Soho in the middle. Hasn't really picked a side. She just says that she wants the AEW Women's Championship. In this one, for a prediction, I'd have to say Jamie Hayter. I definitely think they should keep the title on her. Her momentum right now, she is definitely over. And they should definitely keep the title on her. Make her strong. Make her a dominant fighting champion for quite a while. And then as far as next challengers go, not sure if it'll happen right away, but I could kind of see it, maybe Dr. Britt Baker turning on her, where her being upset that kind of Jamie Hayter winning the women's championship took the spotlight from her, and she's been kind of in the background as of late. So could see that happen, and that could lead to a feud. And I'm not sure if you have Rebel turn heel too, or stay heel, I should say, and then side with Dr. Britt Baker in the feud. But now back to tonight's three-way match. I definitely think Jamie Hayter should retain in this one. And we have the Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley taking on Hangman Adam Page. I'm sure this one will be brutal, and one safe bet. If this is a bet on DraftKings, I'd say it's probably safe to say that there will be blood in this one. Expect a brutal, bloody, violent match for this one. And as far as a prediction to pick a winner in this one, I'd say I have to go with Hangman. I think he needs some momentum, to be honest, heading into this one. And I don't know. I don't think this loss would really hurt Jon Moxley. So my pick, Hangman Adam Page. That's just my opinion, though. And the main event of the evening for the AEW World Championship, a 16-minute Iron Man match. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, defending against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And this one, I'm sure, will be good. You know, you got Bryan Danielson in there, has wrestled great 60-minute matches in the past. MJF, can he go? That is the question. I think the match will end up being very good. I really don't have any fears or anything that this match is going to disappoint. I'm sure it'll be a very good match. And a prediction time. I've said on the podcast before, I've talked about what you want to happen and what you think will happen are two different things. And I'll start off with what I want to happen here. I want to see Bryan Danielson defeat MJF tonight and become the new AEW World Champion. Danielson, I have talked about many times, one of my favorite wrestlers. I definitely agree with best in the world for Bryan Danielson. But what I think is going to happen, I think MJF will be retaining the championship somehow, whether it comes down to the last second or so of the match, of the time limit, and he sneaks in a way to cheat and defeat Danielson, or maybe the time runs up, the 60 minutes is over, and there's a tie, kind of like Brett and Shawn in the first Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. And since MJF is the heel, they could have where Danielson wants sudden death or 5 more minutes or wants the match to restart. All the fans want the match to restart, and MJF does the heel thing where he denies it. He says, I don't have to wrestle anymore. I've wrestled the 60 minutes like I was supposed to, so I'm done. I'm taking my title and I'm leaving. I could see where, though, that would kind of have sour the ending for most fans, I'm sure. But I also heard one thing being talked about on Post Wrestling is that maybe, and on other sites too, I seen where Danielson wanted Tony Khan to put the Iron Man match on first to start off Revolution. I think if they actually did go with that finish where MJF retaining the title with a draw or something like that, it would be better to do that if they did start the show at the beginning with it rather than ending the show with a draw, no winner. And then for the main event, they could have probably the second biggest match going into it is Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page with Texas Death Match. They could have that close the show. But who knows, that's just my opinion, my thoughts on it. And here at work now, so time to wrap up this episode. Thank you everyone for listening on Spreaker or wherever you listen. Definitely looking forward to Revolution tonight. Stay tuned, hopefully after the pay-per-view for 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Not making any promises, but hopefully we'll be after the pay-per-view. Whenever it does go off the air, AEW pay-per-views usually are long, and who knows though. And tomorrow morning, Good Morning Wrestling fans will be back right here. But thank you again, and hope everyone has a great Sunday today, and hope everyone enjoys AEW Revolution tonight. But until then, keep watching pro wrestling.